Hello and welcome back to Anana Sports. The stage is set and Kalinga Stadium, Bhubaneswar is ready to script history today as India hosts its first ever World Athletics Continental Tour bronze level meet. India's finest athletes are here and joining me is sports editor Sandeep Mishra. Sir, welcome once again. So my
Thank you.
first question is to you that for athletes like Animesh Kujur, Murli Shankar and Anurani, this is more than just a medal hunt. It's a fight for World Championship qualification. How do you think that pressure changes the way they approach an event like this?
I think I think you'll agree, Subhashish, on this is that probably, if you really look at Bhubaneswar, the continental event, and then if you really look at Chennai, where the interstate is, which is apparently the last of the qualifying, I think this is probably their best chance. That's what I feel. I mean, when you really look at the temperatures, when you look at what's going to happen in the evening, and sometimes when you actually go into a last event that apparently becomes your last qualifying, I think there is a huge amount of pressure that comes with it. Yes, what you can always say is that there are certain athletes that really thrive under pressure, but I think why even leave it to the last chance? So for Animesh, for Sri Shankar, for Anurani, this could be the best one. Though of course, if one goes by the press conference yesterday where Anu was there, I think she looked really tired because of that long haul flight from Poland where she was competing. She won a gold and then coming here to basically have that pressure of qualifying, trying to get her fitness back, trying to get the jet lag off. That is going to be an issue. But let's hope. I mean, we really need these three. We really need them to be at the World Championships because not only are they great athletes, not only are they the next rung, not only are they the ones that inspire a lot of juniors coming in, but I think it augurs well for athletics. The more athletes qualify, the more chances we have of actually getting personal best, getting at least into a final.
And Animesh Kujur is coming off a DNF in the 100-meter in the morning. So, but what will be in the 200-meter final tonight for him? Chasing a time under, I think, the 2050 or and his national record 2032 and his Tokyo ranking. So, how do you see his mental and physical state heading into this crucial race regarding the
No,
World Championship qualification for him?
I think one point, Subhashish, I think which we can all agree on is that he's really improved in the sense that in terms of competition, he's really improved. The more you're throwing at him, the better he's getting. Of course, the 200 qualifying mark is 20.16, which is extremely tough in these conditions and for him. But I think anything 2050, I mean, if you can still do 2045, I mean, you're still creeping closer to the world rankings, which might, you know, have him come in. And it just depends on the AFI whether they really want to go in with the uh, world rankings thing and then let athletes reach Tokyo by that sense. But Animesh will have it tough, I think, in terms of the timing. But as I said, I mean, the more we have thrown at him, the more this competition or any competition has thrown at him, I think the more he's thrived. He's really performing under pressure a lot of times, and he's coming out good. Sri Shankar, I think he's coming off an injury. He's coming off a pretty lengthy break, but I think the long jump. What's the qualifying? Yeah, the qualifying mark is probably around 8.27, which is a direct qualification, completely under his control. And if the evening and everything, the temperatures, the crowd, they really eggs him on, really gets him going, I think you will probably see a good jump that just might have him qualify directly. Otherwise, he still has got Chennai. I mean, all of them have Chennai, all of them have the interstate. But if one of them or a few of them get through from here, from the continental, number one, they qualify. The other point is that the reason to stage a continental, the reason to stage a bronze level competition is going to be successful then because the more athletes qualify from here, the better it is.
And the men's javelin tonight, it's totally stacked. So Sachin Yadav, Yashveer Singh, Rohit Yadav, and the two top Sri Lanka throwers. Could we see an 86-meter throw tonight?
Well, I mean, who wouldn't love that? I mean, the direct qualification is 85.50, and I think Sachin's done 85.16. He's done 85.16, not Subhashis. I mean, if, in case I've got some
Ye-
numbers wrong, do correct me, but he's done 85.16.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, so 85.50 is the direct qualification. Who knows? I mean, I don't think the wind's really going to help for the last 2, 3 days. The wind hasn't really picked up in the evening, but I don't know today. There were some clouds in the morning, and everybody expected a little bit of rain, which could have helped later on because things could have cooled down. Sachin could have been in form in terms of the temperature. But with these athletes, and especially with the event as technical as the javelin, I think the first, the second, the third, I think if the first two throws is something that he can easily creep to around 84 and a half, 85, 83 and a half, then he sets himself up very, very nicely for the further throws. So let's expect 86. I mean, you are saying 86. I mean, if we get 86 from Sachin, so that's a direct qualification for Tokyo.
And does competing at today in front of a passionate crowd in Bhubaneswar genuinely give our athletes that extra push, or does it sometimes pile on the pressure?
No, there will be pressure. The difference between the 2017 Asian Championship, the difference between the Fed Cup here, but I can only compare it to the Asian Championships in 2017. The difference was that at that particular time, this was a 3 day, 4 day competition because the Asian goes on for that long. I think this is too short a time for most of the fans to actually understand what's a continental bronze. It's too short a time for the real good fans who really understand track and field to really come down and be part of the proceedings in terms of motivating the athletes, because once you have a packed stadium, I think the stadium already has a lot of school kids coming in, which is a good move because at the end of the day, you still need a packed stadium, and most of these school kids, at least they know and they understand, and when the announcement goes on that this is Sachin and this is Animesh and this is Anurani, and they understand that winning matters out here, winning in terms of they can pick up the energy from the crowd and really go forth. So the crowd's going to help them, and one really wishes it gives them that extra edge to get either shorten the timing out or even get a longer distance, whether it's the long jump or the javelin.
And one last question from my side. Whatever happens today, how do you see this event influencing India's preparation for and confidence heading into a world championship in Tokyo next month?
Huge. I think, irrespective of what the competition is in terms of the foreign competition from different countries, yes. As we spoke yesterday, I was saying that big names don't really matter, but big names sometimes do matter when you're putting up a first big world athletics continental meet. So, from the point of a competition, that's one point. From the point of education, when you're watching a big athlete go through his motions, go through the training process, go through the warm up process, then you actually feel the difference, because when your athletes watch somebody who's big on the world stage, who's already been on the podiums either at the world stage or at the Olympics, then there's a lot of learning processes that come into action at that point of time for juniors and for the other athletes. I think from that angle, this is a big first step. And as we said, the first step should lead to a second step, which is silver. And hopefully, maybe in the future, if we get the diamond, then that's the pinnacle apart from the world athletics. But I think what India really requires right now is to get hold of the junior athletics and somehow do the world championships in that, because that is a huge, huge statement coming from a country that really wants to be at the forefront of track and field. And you know it. I mean, you know it because, well, we've been looking at junior world championships data. We've been looking at the analytics of that. We've been looking at the former winners. And sometimes, not even sometimes, probably almost 40 to 50% of the Olympic podium finishers, the world athletic finishers, are the ones who've already finished on the podium in the junior world championship. So from that point of view, I think the first step should be a junior world championships. And who better than Bhubaneswar, Odisha to host it right now?
Okay, and thank you so much, Sandeep sir, for joining us. And stay tuned
Thank
with
you.
NS Sports for all the latest updates straight from Bhubaneswar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Subhashi.